so we're putting the winches onto the mast.
Gather round all you floaties, I got a story to tell. 30 days in a boatyard, living the 13 months.
This episode, we tackle the last of the winches, Jim tackles an iguana, and we get the throttle back together. You can support our mission to sail and save animals by becoming a patron for live updates and other special extras.
Alright, so we're putting the winches onto the mast, and as you can see there is a plate here on the mast, and when Will took the winches off we left the plate on, and so now I'm very scared to take the plate off to put the winches back on because we don't know exactly how they're held in place. We also don't know what the situation is with these bolts, and I'm worried if we take it off we're not going to be able to get it back together. So I've come up with a system that involves a little tape on the back of a size 10 wrench, and then I can put the nut into it, and then I'm putting a little sealant onto the washer, placing that on top of the nut. Then we can go up, line it up with the hole, poke the screw through and tighten it. One of those things that's easier said than done. But yeah, that's how we're going to do it. So my job is the screws and the nuts, and do the bolts and the nuts, and Jim's job is holding the winch in place for long enough for me to start doing this, which potentially is a harder job because holding something very still that weighs like a kilo for protracted periods of time can be not super fun. So yeah, that's the plan.
There we go.
Just because I'm going to stop.
Okay. Oh.
Try there. Alright, they're on! Yay! Oh, that was kind of tough. There was a few that were really hard to get on, but it worked. So now we just need to get the covers and put them all back together, and then all the winches are done. I was just singing. They're done. Right, there we go. Yay! All the winches are on. Every single one of them. It's really cool.
Jim had been spending some days out of the boat by himself while I stayed behind and worked on videos. We had bought the very last of the white non-skid paint in the entirety of Mexico, and we were only able to get 3 quarts. So we were doing the first layer in grey, followed by 3 layers in the off-white.
We got an iguana wrapped in a fishing net. Gonna see if we can get it out.
Iguanas are very common around the boatyard, and generally they just stay away from people. However, if they're confronted, they can be a little aggressive, and a bite from one of these guys can lead to a very nasty infection.
Oh. Espera, amigo, espera. Oh, bueno.
Buena.
Sí, exacto. Vaya. Ah, bueno.
This iguana didn't seem particularly grateful for Jim's help.
Sí. There is a combination of fishing net, some rope, just random cordage. Yeah, he was totally stuck in that.
The next day we continued with attaching everything on deck. We left the very worst job to the last, the dreaded Bimini arch.
And I'll try and pull this one down to line it up, and you just try and keep that one out of the sealant as best as you can.
Do you have that side?
Yeah. Woo! Woo! It's on! Yeah, that turned out really good. Though attaching the life raft wood and this was like a job we were really dreading because we just knew it was going to be so much fiddling around, but it only took 8 hours, Jim.
We got here at 6:30, it's almost 2:30.
Yeah, something like that. 8 hours, but we're done. Feels very good. Another job done, ticked off the list, don't need to do it. Woo. Now Jim's going to vacuum up all the aluminium shards that end up in our feet. And they really hurt. Well, Jim is focusing on non-skid this week, and I am focusing on getting the engine finished so that we can start her up because she hasn't been started for a year. So basically where I'm at is I need to put the fuel filter into the rake or a new fuel filter, and a new fuel filter onto the primary fuel filter on the engine itself. And I'm also going to replace the O-rings in the rake while I'm doing that and give it a good clean. I'm going to put the impeller in. So as you guys know, I already did the pipes and belts and most of the engine work, but all this stuff we just wanted to wait until we were about to start her. So I've got to put that bad boy in. And then the part that's giving me the most trouble is I'm putting the throttle back together. Well, after spending the better part of 2 hours trying to find all the screws for the freaking throttle, which I cannot find, so I have to go into the screw shop, and taking it apart and putting it back together again and trying to figure out how to attach the cables to it. That's where it goes there. I think I have it figured out, but it's frustrating to not have all the parts. So I'll go look for them tomorrow, and in the meantime, the next project to get the engine done is also a frustrating one. Basically, I've got to get new pipes onto this here salt water filter. I'm gonna cut it out. I'm no expert, but in my opinion, that is too gunky. Much better. next day on the throttle. Thankfully, Andreas had the right screw size. Woo! So didn't have to go shopping for screws, which is good. So Jim's just finishing up painting, and then he's going to help me put it in our basically dry install the throttle and the clutch, so that we can try and work out and double check which of these switches is for the throttle and which one is for the clutch. I'm fairly sure this one's the throttle and this one's the clutch, but we want to make sure before we attach things. Just put it to first, or which one are you going to start with?
The one closer to the back.
Okay. Can you start with the one closer to the front? It's a bit better aligned right now.
Ready?
Yeah. Alright, okay. Okay, so if you go towards the back of the boat. Yeah. And then that's if you keep going.
Yep, keep going.
Okay, stop. And then go back the other way. Is that as far as you can go?
I can pretty much go like there.
Okay, good. And then the other way. Okay. All right, cool. I know which is which.
Cool.
The throttle's, yeah, the outside like I thought, and the clutch is the inside like I thought. All right. Okay, I think that's good. Well, that's another day done. I put an impeller in and got the throttle while Tim painted. I did attach some hoses as well, but slow going. Time for a shower.
With the splash date just around the corner, we've been super busy, doing a lot of boat work and of course a lot of animal work in between, including a really large vaccination campaign. You can help us with our mission to sail and save animals by becoming a patron for as little as $1 a month. You get live updates and lots of extras, including a video of Chuffed splashing very, very soon, we hope. Until next time, stay chuffed, everybody.